to get to the point where you can understand it. We each take these ideas that we're programmed with and mold them into a scenario that we think we like and agree with. Death. You're going to go to heaven. Heaven be a programmed idea of what it is, even though none of the preachers, priests, rabbis have any proof of what it really looks like, what you really do when you get there. What's in charge, who's in charge, what do you really got to do when you're there? Why not? If you're going to tell them about it, soul, when it becomes more aware of itself, has much more greater ability. You start playing within the light and using it, not letting it just flow through you. I mean, as far as shooting lightning bolts out of your fingers, you won't do it here. You would burn the body out too fast. And have people even say they do that. So we have to be open to what we hear and be aware enough to tell the difference whether it's real or not. And sadly, 99% of the time it's a lie. No matter what speaker you're listening to. It's so hard for me in the UFO world when speakers talk about everybody else's experience. How can you talk about it? It's not your experience. And they get into it like it was. Unless you go through an experience, you don't know what it is. You get pulled on a ship. You start playing inside your body. Nobody else can experience that from planet Earth by saying, I heard him say it. Oh, it must really hurt. Do they have his body immobilized so he can't move? Most of the time they do. Do they let him know what they really do to the body? No. But it's definitely sexual in most cases, taking your semen or your egg, if you're a woman. Taking your brain, for what reason? You're pretty dumb. No matter where they pick them up from. How smart are they? What are they going to teach them? They've been there. They gave us the technology that we have. Does that make them more spiritual? Technology has nothing to do with spirituality. Well, if you're super spiritual, blah, 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 blah. If you're not, what's the difference? What do people that say they're spiritual do with this great energy? Magnifying money to bring more money into their life? Well, you focus on things, it comes into your life because you're putting energy into it. Same as a job. You don't like your job, put more energy into it, keep looking, find a better job. And you can. Well, I tried 100 times. Well, try 1,000 times. Try until you get it, if that's what you want. Because the scenario is not that complicated. No scenario is really complicated. Whether you're going to listen or not to the story. You don't like it, you're not going to listen. So talking, and I was just thinking about that. Like 2 hours of a show is good for certain people that can listen. Most people get totally bored, lose their awareness, forget, daydream when you keep talking. So maybe I'm going to stop in a short period of time just so that it doesn't go the full 2 hours. Because, well, I'm going to wait and see what he says at the end. I'm trying to build it along as we move along. You know, I understand what you say, but some people have no awareness. I ask them what I said within the 2 hours, and they'll say, and that's what they'll come up with. Well, you talked about, I'm not sure, you said something about death or something about, what did I say about it? Well, death is only a word. Man created, accepted. The soul doesn't die. Now, who said soul can be neither created nor destroyed? Science, because they said Energy can be neither created nor destroyed, and we're energy. Well, flowers and energy, a frog's energy, but there's a live energy and a dead energy. A petrified tree stays in a solid state forever. Sure, you can burn it, but if you don't burn it, it's just solid frozen energy. And that's what most people are, frozen energy. Not growing, not doing anything. So, when we talk about death and letting go of this body that's destructing, deteriorating, falling apart, getting old. Sure, some people die young, healthy, and you don't have to go through that. But now we have children going through the most horrible things. And it wasn't because God says, I want children to suffer. It was because man did. In his own ego, let's create a scenario for children to suffer. Chemtrails hurt children. Fukushima is going to hurt many children. When we destroy the ozone layer, that's going to hurt many more children. So what do you think they're leaving the planet for? Let's go to the space program. Why do you think they want to go to Mars and to the moon? Because this world's so contaminated. They know it. They create technology here to bring there. Hydroponics, which is probably the most important way to grow food in the future, is not for planet Earth. It is for the underground cities where they have hydroponic farming, because they don't get real sunlight. They don't get the natural weather that you do above ground. So it's all scenario. They don't even need dirt. Just needs the right moisture and temperature of the air. So are they healthy? Yeah, because they're not absorbing chemtrails. I mean, they're in a space. But they know that. They're underground. They're protected from a lot of the things they have and allow to contaminate our world. So in the spiritual side of life, what's spiritual? Very little. Sure, not the food you eat. Well, I just took a pill and it says 100% vitamins. Well, what? Can your body absorb them, understand them, and use them? Just because somebody else said they had a good experience with a vitamin doesn't mean it's going to be good for you. I'm a contradictory to all that. All the things I put in my body, all the things that I eat and drink and all those things are considered toxic in most people's minds. Sugar's toxic, salt's toxic. Is it? I'm guaranteeing you synthetic sugar is. It's probably one of the most toxic, destroying things to a child, or even a young adult, or even an adult. It's toxic. Like the chemicals they put in all your supposedly medicines that are legal. I mean, you can buy in a drugstore. And what's worse is the ones you get from a doctor's prescription. They're all dangerous drugs, no matter what they're treating. It affects other parts of your body. Well, somebody tried taking pictures of Mars and they didn't come out. Well, sorry about that. You know, trying to take pictures of Mars, unless you got a telescope, great cameras, the whole thing, it's not going to be that outrageous anyway. I gave up. I'm getting a pair of monoculars because I had a pair of binoculars that were so heavy. They were incredible for viewing. You could see great distances, but I couldn't even hold it. I have a problem with my wrist, my thumb, my arm, and it was just way too heavy to try put it on a stand. You can't move a binoculars or even a telescope to follow a shooting star or a ship. It's so hard to align it in the little circle that you're looking through. Never mind following something moving fast. It's almost impossible. And somebody had a big telescope across the way. I just sold him my binoculars. He has one of those. One's a refractor, one's a reflector. Well, the big one, and doesn't have the lens for it, but it looks really cool. It has a timer on it, which means it moves with time. Yeah, if you're watching the moon, you could set the timer to move with the moon, which is cool. I love looking at the moon. The medicine woman I dealt with, she said she had to watch the moon every night for 3 years. That's called discipline. She became a great woman. She always was. So it's not like you become something that you're not. When you're born onto this planet, which we never talked about birth, but soul's already predestined to be what it's supposed to be in this reality based on their karma. And you don't come into this world karma free. If you have a very teeny little bit of karma, souls can come in and die right away and leave and get rid of it. That's what crib death is all about. Science wouldn't say that. A soul can't step in a body. It's trying to get in and there's no bodies that it can step into. A lot of babies are going to die. Just because you had a baby doesn't mean the soul is ready to go in that baby, is deserving of that baby that you're creating. So the baby will have to die. I mean, a little less, if the soul is ready to take a little less or something, then it's okay. But you're not going to get more. And if it's way too much for the average soul, nobody's going to move into it. Those things aren't taught by anybody. Why is that? Because they don't know it. I'm just checking one thing here to make sure it's still working all right. I didn't see nothing go up in the chat room. Anybody out there, can you see me or can you hear me? My chat room is not working all of a sudden. Like I said, I hate to do this. I had problems with my computer the past 2 days now. It turned into a blue screen, which is bad. The audio is good, but my chat's disappeared. I see you typing, but hold on, let me see if I can pull it back up. Well, got something back. All right. You know, I had problems. I was trying to go into Google because last time I did the show and the volume and everything was perfect. But being in the site I was in, when I'm on Google, it won't let me pull up the chat room. So I had to go back into my AOL to pull it up, and it pulled it up. You know, I'm playing with multiple problems with the computer glitches from company to company. And I know companies don't like, like the real world, don't like AOL. A lot of companies won't recognize my email address unless I change to email or something. It doesn't, Gmail, it doesn't come up. I don't use them at all, so I don't want to use them. But I mean, if I'm trying to order something and I put my email in there or trying to make a statement, well, type in a real email address. It's real, idiot. I mean, it's a real email address. Just because you don't want to recognize it doesn't mean it's not real. But see, mind is so ridiculous by itself. It can be changed. It can be reprogrammed. All those things are possibilities. So what I suggest, my email is hawksblood1@AOL.com, HAWKSBLOOD1 @AOL.com. Text me any important questions that you have. I'll bring them on a show, do something with them. If they sound good enough to do a whole show on, or I'll just send you the answer to it.